and we're from Medford, Oregon, which is just about 35 miles north of the California border.
And what's Medford like? Now, what do you guys do there? Should we do a shout out for your business?
Sure, I'm wearing my logo, Pro Visual Design. We do basically graphic art, ad design.
So if you're in Medford, good morning.
Well, yeah.
Good morning, Medford.
We primarily work with the Yellow Page industry.
Uh-huh.
So it's all internet. I'm blessed to be able to work from home.
So you have like a Mac at home to do all your ad?
Yeah, we're all Mac.
All Mac.
Except my bookkeeper. She keeps a PC in the office, so we keep her in a corner all by herself.
That's right. The Windows ghetto.
Yeah.
Have you switched over to Windows Vista?
Well, no, she hasn't.
No.
She's still.
That's wise. Don't do it.
Yeah. I'm still struggling with Leopard, which I just transferred to, and I'm still, a lot of programs aren't up to it yet.
Oh, is that right?
Anyway, we have 4 children, ages 16 down to 9, 2 boys, 2 girls, and Medford's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
There's
skiing, lots of lakes.
Yeah, we love to camp. Kids love to fish.
Now, but your weight, does that interfere with some of that?
Well, yeah, certainly. I'm an 11-year-old scout leader for our church group, the 11-year-old boys, and I've been involved in scouting for a lot of years. So yeah, I always have to kind of dial my involvement back when they head to the hills.
Really?
When they're going, hiking or climbing or mountain biking and that kind of thing, I generally try to fit myself into a logistics position, so that I can be there with their gear and their food and stuff. But unfortunately, I do have to, when we take the boat out, I just drive the boat. I don't ever get behind the boat, It's hard to get in and out of the boat, much less be pulled on skis or a tube or something like that. So yeah, we like to stay active, but I do have to kind of plan ahead for myself and, do something that keeps me involved so that I don't get involved, if you know what I mean. And that's, that's unfortunate, but...
So you have all these recreational opportunities which you're limited by your weight from enjoying. Is that correct?
That is.
Yeah. And so we hope to give that back to you. Like we saw the guy yesterday with the skiing and the hiking and all that stuff.
That was inspirational. I can't imagine hauling 4 kids around the country, but...
all you have to do is get out and go skiing. Yeah.
That was a good story, and his was one I could really connect with. My wife, very supportive. Like I mentioned yesterday, she's had 2 members of her family go through the Roux-en-Y.
Right. Did you think about having the Roux-en-Y?
Yeah, we went to a clinic about 2.5 years ago at the local level there in Medford, and cost was certainly a factor, and that's one thing. It's I found the price tag to this whole thing well into my research, and it was a real clincher for me
because we're cheap.
It's half the price.
Well, it's just it's affordable.
There you go. Thank you.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it.
Now we have had people say that. I go, well, how'd you decide on this? Well, you're cheap. I go.
No, it was well into the research, and when I found it, I was excited to go up and I said this is possible, because the others were very
expensive.
And it really limited. It was certainly a factor, but it wasn't the deciding factor. It was really the laparoscopic nature of it, and what I was reading about it. I looked into I wondered about the Hoodia and those kinds of things, but like I mentioned yesterday, I think it really came to the fore in the last couple of years that there's something physiological going on that has to be changed, and that really came through with everything I read and listened to and heard from yours. I didn't see the Buck Rogers thing until a day or two into my research, and so that was something that I enjoyed sharing, because it was much more user friendly.
Yeah, it kind of puts everything together. I mean, it's you see these kind of crude videos that I'm doing, and then you see what a real editor, an actor, the writers, they put together a story, and they start at the beginning, and at the end of it, you kind of understand the whole thing. They've done a great job with that, and it was really educational for me to see that here's a way to put the entire story all together at once. And so we've been really blessed and really fortunate by those really talented people basically telling a version of our story, and it's really helped a lot of other people kind of understand what we do.
Yeah, that was it was good to see, and I could relate to the only person who really sees you as you is yourself. Even your spouse really isn't able to experience the whole and so seeing men was important to me. Seeing how they responded, what their experience was like. Oddly enough, you know, given my head of hair, I was real concerned about hair loss. So that's probably the only thing I, had questions about. There's a little question yesterday about, well, that's not the only question I have, but the zinc. You would suggest, since it is so hard on the stomach, wait till you're established through these phase 1, phase 2 before you start.
Yeah, as we talked about, the zinc is a dietary supplement. Okay, it's something that's in our food, and what we're saying is that you take a little bit more than usual amount. Okay, well, you've already got a lot of zinc, we presume, because you've been taking in a lot of food. So there's not an urgent need for zinc, and the zinc can bother your stomach. So what we're saying to you is just go ahead and plan on that. As your stomach heals, then go ahead and add that to your diet and make sure you take it with food.
Right.
Again, you wouldn't walk on a broken ankle the day after you broke it. You have to give it some time to heal. And it's remarkable. I think the people that we saw yesterday who were 6 days out from surgery, I think looked remarkably well. I think they looked terrific. On the other hand, I wouldn't recommend they go to Wendy's and get a big gulp and the triple-decker cheese monster burger and the extra large fries. You have to give it time. And zinc can be a little bit hard on your stomach if you're not cautious about how you eat it. So why take that risk early? Because I just don't think it's going to make much difference.